And good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Club Robina for the World Singles Champion of Champions. We've gone the second day. We're here at Club Robina and having a wonderful time. We've seen some absolutely magnificent bowls. And Brian's away today. He's up in... He's gone to a meeting up in Brisbane with Bowls Queensland, and we'll be back later this afternoon. I'm skipping away a little bit earlier today myself this afternoon to go up to another meeting myself in Brizzy. But I'm joined, they called him the voice of bowls from New Zealand, Kevin Hickman in co-commentary. Kevin, welcome aboard.
Yeah, morning Bruce, great to be here and for this wonderful event following on of course for the World Bowls and at Club Robina. The sun's out, obviously we're due for looks like another excellent day on the greens here at the World Champion singles.
It's the that single cloud that was here yesterday morning has gone. A bit came over. We were a little bit worried there. We were going to get a couple of showers of rain. What have we got looking forward to? We've got a match Kenya against the Cook Islands, and to our Kenyan friends I say Jambo. And to our Cook Islanders, we say Kia Orana. Welcome to, that's hello, and welcome to our broadcast this morning. There we go. They've had their roll-ups, and we're all set to go. We've got Kenya, Cephas Kimani, and the Cook Islands, Tere Daniel. And we haven't done the Kenyan team. We've done the Cook Island team last week. Might have been the week before, but it's...
the Kenyans, Bruce, as we know, have had quite a challenge to get here to Australia, haven't they? Which one has to feel sorry for them, actually. But they're here, and great to have them here. And talking to them, their management just beforehand, Cephas has been playing for 13 years, and he was telling me there's 7 clubs in Kenya, all grass, and overall only a couple of hundred members, and by goodness, what a great opening bowl by the Kenyan player. And yesterday we saw Tere Daniel, the Cook Island player, a very, very tight game, in fact, up against Sheldon Bagley-Harley, the New Zealand player from Gore. And Tere from the Cook Islands has been playing for 8 years. He's got a couple of national titles.
And welcome, Mary, you won this morning. You beat James. Welcome from Fife over in Scotland. Sam Roberts out there from Chinchilla. Get the coffee, deliver it down here, mate. And Christine Sibley from over in Auckland in New Zealand.
Yes, well, Christine from Otahu. Well, a great follower of bowls. And welcome, Christine. Great to have you watching. And it's interesting watching Bruce, watching the Kenyans, although they haven't been competitive, so to speak, in the World Bowls because of the things that happen. They've put a lot of hours on the green here, practice at the green tour on the coast. They've been practicing a lot around various venues around the Gold Coast, and they I think they're a story on their own, aren't they, really?
Well, they are, and it was unfortunate. They had visa issues, and we asked the question. We said, where are the Kenyans? And this was 2 days or a day before the start of the World Bowls, and they said they're still at Nairobi Airport.
It was very unfortunate.
Which was a shame. But they came out here, and I helped them out the other day up at Musgrave. They wanted some group photos, so I took some photos for them with the flags in the background and Musgrave Field Club Musgrave, and they were very pleased with that.
Very friendly. We see a great bowl there from Tere Daniel. Looking at on the hunt here is the Kenyan player, not trying to get a slide down to the jack. That bowler, Tere Daniel, didn't have much room to move down to the jack there, but he managed to get down cleanly to it.
Okay, Terry's going to slide across the front of this one, unfortunately. So looking at that, it's the dark blue bowl of Terry. Holding one, and our marker Julie out there. Hi, Julie. I promised her I would be very, very kind to her because we know Julie very well. And so I said I'd be very, very kind to Julie today.
Well, the markers do a great job.
Oh, brilliant.
And the other thing as well, Bruce, especially now with only 5 end sets, a mistake can be yeah, it can be quite fatal, can't it? You know, so
we had a couple of mix-up yesterday, but that was with scoring and scoreboard attendance, where the score was 7-4 after 5 ends, and they left the score up and kept going, and it was like it was going into a 6th end. Anyway, Russ went down and saw them and they went, "Oh, okay, fair enough, all fixed up," and that was the end of it.
For those that don't know, they're only 5-end sets, 3 5-end sets. And I actually got confused as well yesterday, because the 3 sets are played out regardless, aren't they?
That's right, yes.
Because it's wins first, then sets that come into the equation for the quarterfinals, isn't it? So, in a lot of set formats, of course, it's only you win the first 2 sets, you win the match. Well, that's literally the same here, but you play the 3 sets to get the... And, of course, draws count as well on the...
half a point, half a set,
As we saw Karen Murphy, in fact, yesterday, I think in her first game, 2 draws in the first 2 sets, and then won the 3rd set. So
that was against the Cook Island lady.
It was against the Cook Island. Yes, it was.
Was that... not Philomena. No, Philomena's the other lady.
Yeah, that wasn't Philomena. No.
It's... you'd hate to say, "Oh, look, I've won 2 sets. That's no use playing the 3rd," and then you miss out on the quarterfinals by 1.
Absolutely.
Once, because you get the win. I think it was 3 points for the win from memory.
Yep.
And then 1 for each set. So you'd hate to miss out on the quarterfinals.
Absolutely. Which could happen.
by not playing it, and you miss out by 1 point. Yeah.
So it's interesting. The second end, of course, of the first set, Cephas, you'll see, drawn just lower the jack. As we watch now, Tere Daniel, the Cook Island player, just trying to get in front of the bowl to make shot, and does so. It's interesting. Talking to the management this morning of the Cook Island side, he used to live in Auckland, and about 40 years ago he went over there for a bowls tournament, and he's never come back. And look at this from the Kenyan players. You're going to be, he's sat jack level, but by goodness, he's only centimetres away from the jack.
You're a bit late this morning, James. Mary beat you to the punch, mate. And how are you, my friend? I hope you're well. Vince Calabrese down in Leppington. Roger Webb.
So this bowl, Tere Daniel's just going to sit on the back of what was a shot bowl. Good chance here on the backhand. Bruce with a trail here for the Kenyan player. If we can get to the jack, just get a touch on it. Looks to be slightly on the wide side. Coming back now, though. How's the weight? This looks a pretty good bowl from the Kenyan player. Does he get that touch? No, he doesn't. No. But magnificent. Drew the shot right in behind the jack.
Yeah, so that'll be just the 1 to Cephas.
So he's keen to look at these jack level bowls. He's kicked it.
He's kicked the second one out.
Well, looking on air angle, it looks like the blue bowl in front looks though it would be shot. And we'll see what the marker signals. It can be deceiving.
3 it is.
It is 3.
To Kenya. Well.
That's a great start. And of course, in this 5-end format, you drop a 3 or a 4. It's the big numbers to catch up, aren't they?
To get back. Yeah, because you run out of ends real quickly.
Very quickly.
When you've played 1, 2, 3, and all of a sudden you've only got 2 to go, and you've tried.
I was interested in watching the game yesterday. The New Zealand, Selena Goddard playing the American lady yesterday afternoon in the last round. And, it literally came to a 1-bowl shootout. And the American lady buried the jack into the ditch.
I had a funny conversation with a lady on Monday that when we come here to help, we were setting up cameras and a few other things. And Russell gave the head of the ITO, call it what you will, but one of the ladies said, well, what happens if you've got you win the first, someone else wins the second, and then you've got a shootout you got 5 ends, and it's equal at the end of 5 ends. I said, well, you just play another end. Simple as that. You've end up with someone's got to have 2-1 or. She said, what happens if it's a draw on the on the extra end? I said, it can't be. They said, well, it could be. I said, well.
Walking around the greens here yesterday, there were lots of scenarios that were being sort of floated around. And again, a good opening bowl from the Kenyan player, just sitting low at the jack. Tere Daniel now coming down, trying to get to the jack, which he needs to get past his front bowl. Not quite going to do so. Gets a turn on the bowl.
Yes, many, many years ago, Kevin, someone told me, be careful of the bloke at a meeting who starts his question out with, what if?
Yeah, correct.
What if? Because they're just looking for a question to ask, and they're the ones that frustrate you.
Well, good turn on the bowl. He doesn't want to turn the back of the bowl, and he did. Unfortunate. Turned the Cook Island bowl in for shot.
The only spoil was Roger. James, yeah, mate. Brian has got the day off until this afternoon. He's gone up for I think it's a council meeting of Bowls Queensland, where all the districts get zones or whatever they are get together and get stuck into the
lovely. Usually, Brucey certainly gets a big draw.
Yeah.
They're coming from a very wide angle. And here's Tere running at the head. He won't get the right sort of slide. But there's no doubt that with watched Cephas, he's certainly drawn well when the last 3 ends now gone.
I'm not too sure whether they changed the timing of the. What do we got? There's still 2 hours. Yeah, it was it 2:15 previously? No, 2 hours. Yeah.
I don't think any games went to 2 hours yesterday.
No, the longest we had was 36 minutes left on the clock. So that's an hour and a half game which is about right.
I suppose as we get into the quarterfinal, semi-final stage, games may tend to get drawn out a wee bit longer.
People will start walking up, looking at the head a lot more. And, yep.
I thought it was very good at the World Bowls, and again here where you what is it, the third bowl is you can go up unless you ask the marker.
Yeah.
And I think that's very good because you'd know from your years of doing this. There's some players who like to do a bit of a wander.
Certainly are.
The only thing they don't chase is the kiddie. Another great opening bowl here by the Kenyan, just sliding past the jack. This is a very promising start by the Kenyan player. And it is delightful to see them here playing.
It's good.
After the challenges that they went through. It's great to see them here.
Oh, it's a shame for the World Bowls that they had, but they arrived. And they went over to Helensvale. They had a run over there. I know one of the young ladies over there who had a roll-up with them, and she was over the moon. She just, it was fantastic. And they've been around, and, unfortunate that things happen, but they're here for the, their singles players are here for the Champ of Champs. Yeah, fantastic.
Another good bowl finishing jack level, certainly very consistent on the draw is Cephas, and he's putting early pressure on the Cook Island player. Breaking towards the jack now, but I don't think he's got the weight to get all the way down.
No, he needs to run on a little bit. Still looks like Julie's going for the red paddle. Yes, she is. Yep.
One of the things that's been interesting watching the World Bowls and here, Bruce, is that obviously there's been a lot of coaching going on around the world, hasn't there? Because if you look at the delivery and all the way how the sort of the game management now, so many of these players from the smaller nations, it's certainly, I can remember back to the last World Bowls, of course, in Christchurch when let's say the smaller nations, although it was a different format this year, certainly didn't bring the strength that we've seen recently with the number of smaller nations.
But there's a lot of coaching came through from my club, Helensvale, where Matty Lucas.
Oh yes,
Matty's going to run a session for on delivery and how to roll bowls and it's.
He rolls them pretty well.
Oh, he gets away. He's got a lovely delivery.
He has.
And it wasn't Facebook. It was, I think it was that one there, and I've probably deleted it now. Yeah, I have. But yeah, it's just go and learn how to deliver it instead of the old plonk from some of the old bowlers who can't bend down as far or can't get down as far. And
do not dump.
Oh, gee, especially on the new one at Helensvale. We don't want dumping on the synthetic.
No, that's for sure. It's a no dump zone, isn't it?
That's right. Anna Ramos, hi from Argentina, and Sue Ruddock is watching. Hi, Sue.
So another one, 6-1 or 5-1 now to Cephas, and that's a great start in this first set with 5. And of course, we're about to play now the last. It just disappears like that, the set. So they're just about to play the last end now of the first set, and that'll be an encouraging start for the Kenyans. They'll be delighted. They'll be delighted with their singles player to date this morning. He's been playing for 13 years.
Geez, if he keeps that up, I'll be asleep shortly. No, hey. Jason Borg, how are you, Jason? Good to have you on board, buddy. And James, funny story. Does he teach you how to not be a yard short? Might be a help. Yeah, he probably teaches that. But I've got a good mate at Helensvale who's a para bowler in a wheelchair, got a leg missing. And I said to him one day, how you going with your bowls? He said, I can't get it today. He says, I'm a foot short.
So true.
Yeah, Shano, big shout out to you, mate, if you listen. Good guy.
So here's Cephas on his forehand, just falling lower the jack, but very impressive, very wide out on those marker lines. You'll see it come back now towards the jack. It's certainly got a very, very good drawing bowl. It works its way all the way back to I'm not going to say a whole. Well, he'd be a good couple of feet, in fact, underneath the line that Tere Daniel, the Cook Island player, who's going to be, it would be too much weight here and pass by.
Robbie, what's the lighter bowls? Cephas's bowls, the light ones. Are they XGs? Just trying to get
the marker. Julie, the marker, indicating it is the Kenyan holding the shot, playing with the jack right down to the 2 metre mark. And again, here's the bowl out on that big arc, two lots of markers out. And in fact, it's going to come in underneath the jack line, so you can see from that, there's certainly a big drawing bowl. It is an arrow, I think, is it not?
Yeah, you can't see it on the big ring. We need the little ring side.
Because Robbie, an expert analyst, pennant winner.
Yes, yes, this year's pennant winner. Yep. Yeah, they certainly do, James. Some of them are magnificent, these parabolas, and as you've heard me say previously, I went to a try day for the parabolas, and I just got wrapped in the whole day, and was actually being a director for a blind bowler that day, and it was just fascinating.
So Tere Daniel on the search for the shot bowl. Very impressive to date with the Kenyans' draw play. He certainly gets the bowl out on a very good arc, and that's the first set gone.
Looks like 2 to
He's
me.
I see he's claiming 2 is Cephas.
Cephas is left hand. You can see he's got 2 fingers waving there in the wind. Yeah.
See Anne Dunwoody arrive here this morning, the Scottish legend. Been around the World Bowl scene for many, many, many years and loves travelling to the international events. And it was 2.
It was 2. And that's the first set to Kenya. Well done, Cephas. Ken Henderson watching over there in Wales. Now, I saw one there. Heather Marie. Where do you find the results of all the games from yesterday, please? Very simple. If you go to the Facebook page of World Bowls, so go to open your Facebook and go to World Bowls and flick through, you'll see there's a advertising. They've got all the stuff from. It's towards the bottom now. There's an advertisement there, in relation to World Bowls, and you click on that. Oh, they've changed it. Bear with me, Heather. They've gone and. Sorry, I went to Bowls Australia. So you go to World Bowls and you'll see an ad there that has got a photo of last year's winners, and it says 2023 World Bowls. Above that it says keep updated with the results, see more. Press that and then you'll see the results there. There's a link to the results, and it's very similar if you know how to use BowlsLink. It's very similar in makeup to it, so you can go there. And morning, Nan Smith from Finley. Hi.
And here the Kenyan player again, just drawing lower the jack, but he's been very consistent, Bruce, on getting back that centre line, hasn't he? Bowl after bowl after bowl. He's certainly, so that highlights to me that there has been he's been well coached, or is just a natural. As Tere Daniel endeavouring to get inside the jack level bowl will do so. There you go. The groove is the bowl used by the Cook Island player.
Mm-hmm. By Kenya.
Kenya. Yeah, sorry, my apologies.
Blue, the light blue. Yep. And the other ones that they're Turbo Pro. Yep. Merv Howell, g'day down there at Bega. Welcome aboard again, mate. Regular viewer of ours.
I see you got some gentleman here watching from Mexico.
Oh yeah, Peter Williams. Hi, Peter. And
yeah, that may make 2 of it now for the just the one. The marker duly indicating just the one. The Kenyan will come down on the backhand, trying to get a reach inside those 2 bowls. He's certainly tightened his line up. We need to have weight to get through the port. Doesn't do so. He's going to drift away under the head. And Tere Daniel, the Cook Island player, and holding 2 shots on this, the first end of the second set. Remembering that Cephas Kimani, Kenya, won the first set. And it'll be the Cook Island player who will open up his account on the second set here in beautiful sunshine. As Bruce said before, not a cloud in the sky here at Club Robina. Absolutely perfect conditions.
Stevie Borthwick, could you wish my friend Ryan Galtieri a good day? Yes, good wishes. You've got, is it Doreen Galtieri representing Scotland?
Sounds like some relation.
Yeah.
So Tere Daniel now will deliver the jack. We'll see whether he goes deeper on the green. It's Tere Daniel yesterday, Bruce. So I had a long time, so I've seen he drove the jack into the ditch. And then when this last bowl drew to the ditch, and myself and Elvin Gardner leant over and had a look, and
Good edges.
Absolutely good edges. Yeah. The ball was literally hanging on the edge of the ditch and stayed there. So good opening bowl here from the Cook Island player.
Yeah, and a big shout out to Jock, the greenkeeper here, and Craig. Craig Holmes. He's Jock's assistant here. They're doing wonderful, and Craig was very happy that I was praising up the greens because with the bit of big friendship because Club Helensvale owns this one. Working here with Jock. I couldn't make it, but I just happened to be here at the time. So
did Nathan Rice hear that?
And if you listen, Nathan, apologies, mate. I've got to stop rubbing that into you.
So just sliding under is the second bowl of Cephas, the Kenyan player. Holding shot is Tere Daniel, remembering losing the first set but leading 2-0 in these quick fire sets, 5 ends. Another good bowl coming in here, gets past the blue, will do so. And the marker indicating it is to the Cook Islands.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where you've got to be so careful, Bruce, because a set can just slip away from you. Just
that's what Wayne Netter's just saying here, what a difference a set makes. Yeah,
look at this coming into the head now, though, from the Kenyan player.
And fall.
Sits and falls. It'll make shot.
Yeah, no, it'll be... it's a measure.
A measure.
Yeah, just a little bit deceiving that. It looks like it's well in, but it's...
But for those watching at home, you could see the arc of the bowl, of Cephas's bowl, to come into the head. Very, very wide drawing line.
Yeah, that's what James is saying here. Definitely a big swing coming down this way.
And myself, James, was it you were saying?
Yeah, James over in Scotland.
I'm one of those purists who love to see that arc of the bowl coming back towards the centre line, not taking the easy way to the jack. And here's the Kenyan player now with his last bowl. Is he going to get to his own? No, he won't. Just slip by. Tip of the bowl would have definitely made shot of it. The marker duly indicated it was a measure. Remember, Cook Island scored a 2 on the first end. Kenya winning the first set.
Let's see. They'll do the. Yep, he's conceded that one. Another blue. Yep.
So it's a 3-0 break now to the Cook Islands.
And he concedes the fact. He looked down and he knows. I mean, you could do the measure as waltz if you want to and get down there and walk around in circles and then decide to have a measure. But, you know, these blokes are professional. They know what's going on.
I was very impressed in the final of the men's singles at the World Bowls with Gary Kelly and Ryan Bester. There was no mucking around. They'd walk up, have a quick look, say it's yours or 1 or 2, whatever. And the game was played in fantastic spirit. But they know that they play enough. My vision wouldn't be in the line of centimetres like theirs tends to be. That's for sure. They're very good at it.
And before I forget, very remiss of us, congratulations to Ryan. I haven't spoken. I might see him tonight at the Premier League meeting. He may be going up for it. But congratulations, Ryan.
Great final.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was a good final.
And the first bolt of Tere Daniels, jack right on the 2 metre mark, is overweighted. And Cephas Kimani endeavouring to get down to the jack's going to fall short. You'll see the difference in the line here where the bolt of Tere Daniels, whether it comes under that short bolt or around it, it's going to come under it.
He wants to miss that, doesn't want to clip it. We're just running past a little bit. But bit weighty, but
you can see the difference in the line of the two balls.
That's right.
That was that really highlighted.
We'll see. Cephas will.
He can draw around that. Or bang in it. No, he's coming under it. And again, well,
great.
Well, he got to the jack with weight, really, wasn't it? He held it under the line and it got to the jack. So, am I correct? He actually holds 2 shots because I think that the first 2 bowls on the Cook Island player went to the ditch.
Went in the ditch, yes.
But this will be second shot that's bowled here of Tere Daniel. Still short, but there I can clearly see the 2 Cook Island bowls up there just sitting by the number 14. Good chance here for the Kenyan to get right back into this set, trailing 3-0. He's definitely got a narrow line here, Bruce, with those bowls. And he'll be disappointed with that because it'll just a matter of how far it goes across.
Yeah.
Looking at that angle, hard to tell. The marker hasn't rightly indicated.
Yeah, Shep. See the servo, mate. Inside.
Well, that takes that looks after everything there now, doesn't we? Know it's definitely only the 1 shot. Interesting change of hand here from the Kenyan player, holding 1. You can see definitely a different line on that hand, but how far? No, he'll run into the front bowl. He'll score 3-1 now. It's 3 ends of 5 gone. Remembering, of course, it is 3 sets. So for those to make the quarterfinals, the criteria, and if I'm wrong, Bruce, I know will put me right, the first facet is wins, then it becomes sets, and I presume then it becomes points or differential.
Looking at, when I looked it up yesterday, someone said, what about the difference with differential between points? And I said, it's about 5th on the list or something. There's a number of things in there, but on some games it may come into count. And here we go. Cephas Kimani from Nairobi. Okay, there we go. He's a broadcast journalist.
Yeah, well, there you go. Kenya, of course, as we all know, known for some other in the athletic field, 1,500 metres, and of course the marathon.
Yep,
it's their forte, isn't it?
Oh yeah, too right.
Question about updates. Well, I'm pretty sure the live score updates aren't rolling for the Southern Bruce. Which they
can't do live.
No, they can't, of course.
No, until after this round's finish. Yeah, they don't. Unlike was it the World? No, it wasn't the Worlds. It was, they didn't do updates, did they? What was the one?
World Bowls had updates.
World Bowls had live updates. That's right, because they had the little iPads.
That's correct. Yes. They did. Yeah.
They're not doing it with this, so unfortunately we can't give you any update scores.
Great bowl here from Tere Daniel, coming right past those bowls down to the centre line.
Yeah, it's more of a. This one's a results-based. In other words, the game's finished. Here's the result.
It's the sets rather than the shots, isn't it?
That's right. Yes, yes. Okay, Cephas swinging it out there, and not going to make it.
Hasn't got the weight.
No.
But I'm sure, though, you go to the website, the results are put up, seem to be going up pretty quickly. So at the completion of this round, you'll quickly be able to see how the player that you're following, how they fared in this round. Cephas coming down to have a look just to make sure what the story is. From our position, it looks like the dark blue bowl of the Cook Island player Tere Daniel. It looks like the shot, and
the binoculars, I think. I'm just having a look. I'm pretty sure I found. Okay. It looks like it's there, the ends. I don't know who won the first set, because surely they're into their second set, but Scotland and Argentina are 1-1. There we go. The sets are below, and it looks like Argentina won the first set by the look of that, because it's got a big red marker beside it. They're using the adapted score. They had to. They didn't have scoreboards for set play. Broadbeach did, so they borrowed them. Musgrave Hill. Oh, they come from. Oh, yeah, they're Tweeds, because we had them down at the Nugget. Yep. Tweed heads, and they've adapted some scoreboards from here, and looking down there, it looks like Argentina won the first set.
Kevin, you should be grateful of that, because sitting here watching the particular rink that Bruce was talking to you about is a green and 3/4 away from where from where we're actually sitting.
Well, I just saw the Scottish player, and I recognised the outfit.
Well, you would have missed the Argentinian one, wouldn't you? They're very, the blue and whites, the Puma,
blue and white,
the Puma blue and white is very. They're very consistent in their national sporting teams in Argentina, aren't they?
Someone described their uniform, and I'm not having a shot at it, but it looked like a roller derby referee. It's
certainly the favoured colouring of Argentina. So now having a look who's got the shot, and now looking at the side bolt.
They've taken the light blue out of Cephas, have they? Was that a light bluey?
It was a light blue bowl that came out. That being the Kenyan bolt. Now they go into that's the Kenyan bowl behind the jack, and they'll swing the measure around to go to the front of the darker blue bolt, and just the one. See the Cephas takes the jack, so that really tightens that. This set up now 3-2 now.
That's right. Yeah. So Cephas would be looking for.
Well, of course,
a multiple.
A draw helps them as well.
A draw helps them too, yeah, that's right.
And we saw a number of draws yesterday, wasn't there?
That was...
number of sets that were drawn.
Where are we? There we go. Tere Jim is the Cook Island girl. She's one of the Jim sisters.
That's the one that played Karen Murphy in the first women's round yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah. Tere Jim, because we did a game with they were the Cook Island sisters, weren't they? The two Jim girls, wasn't it?
Correct.
Yeah,
correct.
That's right. Yep.
So Jack going to be lost twice here, so it'll go on to the 2 metre mark, and we'll decide what length with the mat, what length they're going to play, and the Cephas is quite content with that length. It's interesting with the Cook Island teams, ball players. So there's a number of outer islands, lots. I'm not going to say hundreds, but a lot of outer islands in the Cook Islands. But they all come to the one assembly point in the main island, where the one club is, and that's where they all congregate to play. And it's a very popular sport now in the Cook Islands. Just into the it sits up. There it is, just laying on the ditch.
Don't think. Oh no, they didn't. Samoa. last week.
Yes, they did. I thought they would get. But here's Tere Daniel trying to. He's on that narrow line, and that's the Kenyan player's bowl. He's just going to touch the second bowl of Cephas. Kimani definitely shot just lower the jack on that backhand side. He'll deliver this bowl out wide. You'll see it get out to just about out to that second blue line. In fact, just comes under it. Breaks now towards the centre line, and a jack. It gets a perfect arc on the bowl.
Lovely bowl.
Well played. Done. That's definitely 2 shots for the Kenyan player. Remembering it is Tere Daniel of Cook Islands who's leading 3-2, but it was the Kenyan player winning the first set, playing with weight here, trying to get to the inside line. Got it fat and flat. Well, might have made 2 of that.
Yeah, that's...
one and a measure was the call.
I won't say, come on, Julie, that looks like 2. But I will.
Well,
yeah, we know.
She's now indicated. I think you'd just see her. I just saw a quick flick of the lollipops, and I think she's backed herself. She heard you, Bruce.
Yep. Yeah, there we go.
So 4 rounds today. Of course, they split the rounds. So men, it's been a bit of a. Well, yesterday was a men's and a ladies, and it was a bit of a.
Yeah, we've got.
But not today, I see.
No, we've got 3 men's and 1 ladies, I think. Ladies, and then we've got 2 more men's after that. Yep.
So today, of course, is for so many of these players, it's moving day for them.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So definitely 2 shots. And I can see the Cook Island player standing right in front of us here with his manager, head director, just giving him some guidance on what he thinks is shot to play. And I just wonder, Bruce, with the bowls that the Cook Island player is playing with, whether he'll get enough draw to get down past that short bowl and down to the jack line. He certainly plays a
very hard to get around that line.
Yeah.
He may be better off coming down left of screen, coming down on his forehand.
Because he certainly plays a narrower line than what Cephas does.
Yes.
I don't know how the Kenyan player went yesterday, but any win that the Kenyans get, I'm sure that they're delighted. And no question about their drawing ability, because we've seen this morning. There's electing to, as we...
Oh, he's going backhand, yeah.
As you rightly said.
He's a left-hander. Yeah, that confused us. Oh, yeah, wanted to be under.
Oh, that's interesting now. This is 2 shots. The Kenyan player can jump to the front here.
And this was the last end of the second set. Yeah, conceded. Yep, 2 it is.
So we're now going to the 3rd set. Remembering the Kenyan player won the first set.
Yeah, so that's 2 sets for Cephas.
So again, we're not quite at the 2 metre market with that jack delivery, but it's still a fairly lengthy head on the forehand now is Cephas Kimani, the Kenyan player, who has won the first 2 sets as we play end 1 of the 3rd set.
Well, there's no mucking about. 2 hours. We've only had 45 minutes.
Yeah, we started at 8:30, wasn't it?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock,
Yeah,
sorry.
8 o'clock
Here we are
yeah.
coming up to a good to 9, and we're well down the board.
Geez, cup of coffee coming up early today. How good's that?
So,
Oh, lovely bowl there,
good
Tere.
correction, really, because he's been struggling with his weight, has Tere Daniel. You'll see this very smooth delivery. That's a coach delivery, Bruce,
Oh, yes.
isn't it?
Yeah.
You don't just sort of pick that up, do you? That's got everything's right about it, isn't it?
Unlike Brian and I, he actually gets down to deliver his bowl.
Well, I suppose Robbie could give us some coaching, would he? He's a pennant champion.
Yep. Yes. Well, it's getting down's no problem whatsoever. It's getting back up again that knocks my knees about. Too much football. That's where the problem comes from.
So I don't think this will be out wide enough. No, it's not.
No.
You'll very quickly see it dip away. And Bruce said a left-hander in Tere Daniels, so his line can be somewhat different.
Got to be careful he doesn't pop this up. No,
He
it's
hasn't
just
got
run
the
out.
weight to
Hasn't got
push
the weight
it right
to
through
push
the
it
head.
through, yeah.
I watched the Kenyan ladies singles player yesterday. She lost to the Norfolk Island girl in the last round yesterday. But again, very impressive draw player. Very impressive.
Yeah, I don't know how many stayed out here. They had when I took the photo of them the other day up at Musgrave Hill, there must have been about 6 or 8 of them in the photo, but I don't think they all stayed. I think some of them have gone back, and you've got, there's only 4 of them out here at the moment, I think.
They're certainly enjoying themselves, just falling just a bowl low of the shot bowl there, did the Kenyan player, so it's definitely the Cook Island player holding the shot. He's on it. How's the weight as he comes down now? Needs to get through this port. Gets to the port, he'll get shot. Won't do so. He's going to come up short and low of the jack.
Okay, Julie. One to, it would appear one to Cook Islands, I would say. Looking at that, just that angle of that bowl there.
I see
One blue.
someone watching from Cape Town. One of the South African players pulled out. Am I right? Oh no, they're both here, both on my list. Or I was sure one of them had actually pulled out of this event.
We did. Well, Sean Grant Thomas, and you've got Anna Fury.
Yeah, they're both down there.
Anna Fury, we get a regular viewer from South Africa with the name Fury, Fourie. Maybe they're some relation to the bowler that's out here at the moment.
One of the great followers in South Africa is the South African ladies singles player, Colleen Pulketh.
Oh yeah, yep.
She's a great follower of the events over here.
Yeah, we've got quite a good following there. Belinda Groenwald, you've got Etienne van Rooyen, Hannes van Eden, just to name a couple there.
Well, this has really gone out on the wide side. We'll see. Don't think that will come back all the way, but by goodness, they certainly draw. Well, there I am completely wrong. It came back from 2. It was out 2 lots of line.
Yeah.
What's the gap on those, Robbie? Do you know the gap on those? Just over a metre, is it? I think it's about 900. About 900. Yeah. So that was 2.5 metres out.
Yeah, he's going to persist there with his backhand and see how far he goes out this time. Well, he's already out there.
He's out to that mark now.
Yep. Good bowling, Cephas. It is. Yeah. He's got that line. Don't move that line.
No, don't move that line. That's for sure.
He's going to be a spot of bother
because he certainly knows that line pretty well. And you can see here the difference in the lines, the two players, but it's got more weight here as Tere Daniel, but he'll sit on the back of the what is the shot bolt, the Kenyan shot bolt. You don't very often now in today's world, Bruce, see bowls with such wide arc on them, do you?
No, not at all. What do you mean, Mike? Love these pronunciations. We do our best, mate. Yeah.
Well, I can assure you, Mike, there's some very challenging ones in amongst this field today, or this week.
Yeah, last week with the World Bowls, I won't say the name of the country, but it looked like his name was Bill Wheelbarrow because I couldn't pronounce the guy's surname.
Yeah, there's some very challenging names.
I suggest you go and buy a couple of vowels.
Change of hand here by Cephas Kimani. And there, well, that was interesting because he's so comfortable on the other hand, wasn't he?
It swung very quickly, didn't it?
It did swing, holding the shot. So we all locked up one apiece. And this is the third set, remembering that the Kenyan player, Cephas Kimani, has already won the first two sets.
And one shot to Kenyan there. Okay.
So today and tomorrow is round robin section play. And then, of course, tomorrow in the afternoon, it jumps into quarterfinals, I believe. Yes, it does. So there's the men's singles, men's and women's quarterfinals.
That's on Friday.
On Friday. So the round robin play finishes. Well, they play right through to Friday morning, don't they? On the round robin.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and we've got Sarah Trotter there up against the Philippines. She's from Cyprus. We've got Australia, New Zealand in the women's.
It's Karen Murphy, Selena Goddard game tomorrow morning, isn't it?
That's right. That's first up, yeah. And then we've got Czech against England. I can't read that. ISR. Israel against USA and Namibia against Switzerland.
Yeah, that Karen Murphy game on Thursday morning, that could actually be a decider for a qualifier, actually, because remembering Selena Goddard lost match yesterday, and Karen Murphy had to work, that's for sure. Karen Murphy, of course, a legend in the sport. So we see the Kenyan player again. He's very impressive, Bruce, isn't he?
Oh, start to stop Cephas, good bowl, well done. Yep. And Lil watching over there in Dunedin. When did Karen win it? Back in 2013, Karen Murphy.
In Christchurch.
In Christchurch, yep.
And here's Tere Daniel trying to get down to the jack, just lacking that fraction of weight, but two lovely drawn bowls, shot bowls here from the Kenyan player, and he'll stay on that forehand. You'll see the lovely arc that he gets on his bowl, gets the bowl out very wide.
Yeah, slow down, don't want to take it back.
He doesn't want the jack on the touch, does he? He just slides past it. That's fairly consistent though, isn't it, those three bowls?
Yep. And Terry has put a little bit of weight behind this, but starting to turn now. Might promote his bowl. Nope.
He just slides by. Well, it may cut the back one out.
Cut the back one out. May have even cut the second one out.
The other jack level bowl. So our Kenyan player looking, he might change his hand. Is he not? Is he's going to the backhand? And we saw earlier on that backhand how wide he gets to on the draw.
Yeah, good suggestion, Cephas, to come this hand to just avoid any chance of knocking up.
Another couple of rolls of weight then, and it has certainly been in the counting zone. The Kenyan player very quickly into his work as Tere Daniel looks to hang on that weight though.
Yeah, just hanging out there. Coming around. No. Let's see what Julie has to say. It's certainly one and possibly a measure, or it might be that dark blue bowl on the left may
cut one out.
May be in there already. Yep, I'll just see. 2.
There was 2.
Yep, 2 to Kenya. Well done.
3-1.
Yep. I'll just jot that down. And Cook. So, what was the Kenyan bowls?
Kenyan is Aero Groove.
Aero Groove. And Turbo Pro. Okay, Danny McEwen there. What bowls are they using? Cephas, the Kenyan, is using Aero Groove. And Cook Islander, Tere, is using Turbo Pros.
And you can see there the draw on that backhand draw. Because the difference in the draw between the left-hander, the Cook Island being there, the left-hander is going to just crawl down towards the jack. It's going to be jack low.
Maybe have, well, it's going to be a few more in that gap there. But it looks like the front bowl, the darker blue, but Cephas is coming in very well here.
Don't think it will be. Look at this from the Kenyan players. He's going to get a touch on the jack.
Oh.
Just slides by the jack to jack level. Certainly greens his bowl well, does the young Kenyan player. And this bowl of Tere Daniels may sit on the shot bowl. Will it sit on the shot bowl? Yes, it does.
It has.
That makes shot. But certainly won't deter the shot, that big wide draw that Cephas will play. And there he's out around those lines again that we spoke about.
No, he's just running past there. Yeah, good effort. He's got another bowl to come in there. What do we got?
Robbie would know this. Are they known as a big drawing bowl?
The grooves, yeah, they're wide at the top ones.
So Robbie was just telling us that that's the groove is one of the biggest bigger drawing bowls that are out on the market, and they certainly have got that. 2 down though is the Kenyan. Oh, we might see a wee bit of aggression here from Cephas. He stood on the mat, sort of looking as though.
Had a thought. Yeah, it looks like he's the way he's lined up.
It's close.
And
Well, he actually got both bowls that he was going for, but they just sort of moved around. Yeah, it's a great attempt from the first aggressive shot we've seen from Cephas Kimani.
Yes. Interesting here. It's got Desmond Vanderschmidt is saying that Cephas was the previous South African singles champion, Title went to Wayne Roberts of South Africa this year at the Africa State Tournament. Cephas was the only player to beat Wayne Roberts this year in a thrilling one-shot win. Well done.
Well, so obviously a player of some... so he's playing in the South African Championships?
Yeah, in the Africa State Tournament.
Right.
Africa State Tournament, yeah. Okay, 2. This is
it, last end.
Last end, so we will get a result.
We're not going to have a tie.
We're not going to have a tie, and
remembering that Cephas on Kenya won the first set 7-1, and the second set he won that by 4-3, and now we're locked up.
The sort of game we.
So he's obviously a bowler of some repute in the African countries, isn't he, that Cephas? Because he's certainly, just watching his drawing ability, his drawing prowess, he certainly has got that.
So, Desmond, I gather that the Africa States Tournament would include the likes of Kenya. Does it include South Africa? What about, who have we got here? Namibia and Botswana? Does it include all those countries or the states?
I thought Bruce had an all-African event.
Yeah.
I might be wrong, but I thought that they had an all-African, because this guy's impressive.
Yeah, very, very impressive.
He's certainly right throughout this match. His draw consistency has been right up there, isn't it? He hasn't been far away.
We'll start to turn in, Tere.
Just won't have the weight to get him behind, but so it was 4 rounds today.
Yes, yeah. We've got Japan against the Falklands. We've got Argentina against Spain. And the final game is Ireland against Nui.
Because Nui is another one of the club or countries who, feature a lot from Auckland. In fact, we had an event last year in Auckland. Brett O'Reilly was the brainchild behind it, where we had all of the Pacific countries lined up.
Yep.
We had a New Zealand development side, and I think for the first time we had both men and women's New Zealand Maori side. And the New Zealand, the women's Maori side, they were gold medalists. So, there's. And I believe, talking to Brett O'Reilly throughout the World Bowls, that it's on the calendar that event will be on again this year. So it was like a Pacific Games type event. With
Did I read somewhere, or was I talking to the Cook Islanders? It might have been Nui. One of the teams beat a well-credentialed New Zealand side in one of the games.
Well, there was some really, really good. It was played at the Blockhouse Bay Club in the western reaches of Auckland, and we had good support. I think one of the other great things about the event, though, Bruce, was how the cultures all came together.
Good. Yep.
And turns out still be 2, I would say.
2 to Cephas. Well done. Oh, here we go. Desmond Vanderbilt. Correct. Namibia, Botswana, Zambia, Kenya, South Africa, Zimbabwe. There we go.
So that's like an all-African championship. And there we've seen it, Kenya, one of those all-African countries, with the very impressive Cephas Kimani defeating the Cook Islands 3-0.
Yes, and congratulations, Cephas, 5-3 in the third. So 7-1 in the first, 4-3 in the second, and 5-3 in the third. And thank you for a great display of bowls, both gentlemen, Cephas and Tere. Big shout out also to Julie, our marker. We thank you, Julie. I promised I would do that for her and be kind to her because we do know her. And but thank you very much. And yeah, no, that's fantastic. And Kevin, thank you very much for jumping in here for the moment. And we've got another game coming up at what time's kick-off, Robbie? 10:15. So that's an hour and a quarter. They'll commence roll up. Yeah, they might bring it forward, and so there we are at Robina. That's the famous hedge at Robina, spelling out Robina there, and the flags are pretty limp today. We didn't have the wind as yesterday, but yeah, we'll be back in probably about an hour. We've got Maduri Matsuoka up against Daphne Arthur Armand in the next game, Japan versus Falklands. So we'll just get the if we got the there we go. Yep. Thank you to Club Robina, Club Helensvale, the Gold Coast-Tweed District Bowls Association. It's live, Australia's Gold Coast, and the major sponsors ACET Sport and Niagara. We thank them for their participation in the World's Champion of Champions Singles. Thank you very, very much. And so that'll be it for the moment, and we shall be back in about an hour's time. And now